Last time on our French monarchy marathon, we saw the kingship of France move from the main house of Valois to a cousin or a cadet branch, the house of Valois-Orléans, with Louis XII. Let's continue our journey through France on film and see how the next kings are portrayed on screen. We start off with The Sword and the Rose, a film from 1953. This centers on Mary Tudor, the sister of King Henry VIII of England. She's been promised in marriage to the elderly King Louis XII of France, and shockingly, she's not thrilled about it, especially not when there's a young, handsome guard who's already caught her attention. The film then leans fully into romantic mischief, asking just how far Mary is willing to go to avoid becoming Queen of France, and instead marry the man she loves. This movie is super cute. Is it the greatest film ever made? No. Is it historically accurate? Also no, though to be fair, it's still more accurate than the Tudors. At the very least, they married her off to the correct king. The cast is charming and clearly having fun. The costumes and sets are lovely, and I laughed more than once. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's part of what makes it work. I wouldn't say this one is essential viewing, but honestly, you should still watch it anyway. It's light, entertaining, and really a pleasant surprise. It's from 1953, 92 minutes long, rated for all ages. From here, we move to the next cadet branch, the House of Valois-Angoulême, with King Francis I in The Tudors, a TV series from 2007. The main story follows King Henry VIII of England and his 6 wives. However, King Francis I of France was a recurring role in the first 2 seasons, and the show goes into a lot of detail about the politics between France and England at the time. For my full summary and thoughts on The Tudors, go check out my comparison video about all the films and movies about King Henry VIII. It ran from 2007 to 2010, was 38 episodes, all about an hour long, 18 plus for sex, violence, and adult themes. Once you're done with that, it's time for you to make a choice between 2 series, Reign or The Serpent Queen, both of which roughly cover the same timeline. For this, I decided to go with The Serpent Queen, but if you want my full review of Reign, go check it out in my comparison video about all the movies and TV adaptations about Mary, Queen of Scots. The Serpent Queen is a TV series from 2022. This follows the rise of Catherine de' Medici from a teenage outsider to one of the most powerful queens in French history. The show tracks her long grip on power and how she used intelligence, strategy, and ruthless political instincts to survive and rule for roughly 30 years. The story spans from the end of Francis I's reign, Catherine's marriage to Henry II, the short and tragic rule of her son Francis II alongside Mary, Queen of Scots, and then moves into the reign of Charles IX. It also hints at what's coming under her final son, Henry III, while laying the groundwork for the king who follows him. Basically, if you like French court politics, this series has a lot to work with. I honestly really loved this show. It's intensely political with very little emphasis on romance. And if I'd known that going in, I might have hesitated, but instead, that's exactly what pulled me in. The characters are fascinating, the power struggles are constant, and Catherine herself is endlessly compelling. Now, if what you really want is soap opera, romance, and drama, you might be better off watching Reign, but personally, I much preferred The Serpent Queen and Catherine's cold, calculating grip on the throne. One last warning, though. The show was canceled after season 2, which is an absolute tragedy, and yes, I'm still upset about it. It ran from 2022 to 2024, is 2 seasons, altogether 16 episodes, all about an hour long, 18 plus for sex, violence, and adult themes. Last on this list, we have Queen Margot, a film from 1994. We pick up almost right where we left off, with the marriage of Princess Margot to Henry of Navarre, an event meant to bring peace between Catholics and Protestants. And instead, it explodes into the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre. Margot is caught in the middle of the chaos. She wants nothing more than to survive, stay with her lover, and keep her distance from a husband she barely knows. Her only real ally is her brother, the king, whose fragile health means power could shift at any moment. Meanwhile, Catherine de' Medici is once again pulling strings behind the scenes, and the film constantly raises the question of whether her schemes are protecting her family or destroying it. This movie is absolutely stunning and incredibly intense. The costumes and the depiction of the French court are gorgeous, but don't let that fool you into thinking this is a romantic period piece. I went in expecting a love story and instead got a deeply emotional and often brutal exploration of betrayal, complicated relationships, and sheer survival. Fair warning, this film is extremely bloody. We're talking streets filled with bodies and blood. If you're squeamish, this is not the movie for you. But if you can handle that level of violence, Queen Margot is powerful, unforgettable, and very much worth watching. From 1994, it's 162 minutes, 18 plus for sex and extreme bloody violence and death. There are two other versions of the Queen Margot story, one from 1954 that I couldn't find with subtitles, and another Russian version from 1996 that I couldn't find at all. If you've seen these before, I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's it for the cadet branches of the House of Valois. I hope you look forward to the next series about the House of Bourbon. Yes, it's time for some musketeers. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out my playlist to watch more historical media in chronological order and for some movie and TV comparisons. Happy watching!